got that going.
We are live. What's up, everybody? It is Thursday, November 20th. It's game week. We got Penn State on Saturday. We are coming at you. I am in a hotel, so hopefully the Wi-Fi holds up here. It's David. I am here with my brother Andrew, who is mere hours away from taking his entire family to Europe, which is something that I don't know why anybody would do, but he's decided to do that. So we're filming tonight. Andrew, how are we feeling on the week of Penn State, as well as walking to your funeral with your children?
Yeah, I mean, you got this. It's like the opposite of a Nebraska season. Like my Husker season expectations are national title or bust. The expectations on this trip are just get out alive. Just like the flight. The flight over there is the most intimidating thing. The flight over there is basically like opening the season playing Ohio State or something. Like this, just like all right, here we go. This is gonna
the flight could be very similar analogy to this game. If Penn State comes out and runs the ball 50 times, it could just be like
50 times.
A slow bleed. Okay. Like the entire flight could be like 13 hours, and it's like 20 minutes in. Nope, they're still running it. Oh, kids are still crying. 30 minutes in, kids are still crying. Another run up the middle. Simon's just running up the middle.
There's 12 more yards. Great.
12 more yards. But we got a lot to break down. We're going to talk. We got a lot of breaking news. We got Rhule news. We got James Franklin news. We got all sorts of news coming up that we could chat about. We're going to break down 3 reasons why I think the Huskers will win. 3 reasons why I am concerned, too highly concerned. But first, guys, Christmas is coming up. We have got some awesome gift boxes coming at your way. We've got some cool hats, some shirts, merchandise all over the place. Go to HuskGuysStore.com. Check out all of our great HuskGuys store selection. We've got a Tom Osborne box filled with Tom Osborne goodies, hat, shirt, plus books, and a lot of cool things inside. We've got a Run the Ball box. We've got a throwback box. We've got all sorts of gift boxes. So if you're looking for a gift for a Husker fan, check out HuskGuysStore.com. Check out the hats, the shirts, the koozies, all sorts of good stuff there. Make sure you guys are following us. Check it out us on Twitter. We just hit 50,000. Twitter, we just hit 70,000. Facebook, we're almost at 50,000. We are working our way up. So we've got 150,000 across the board. Very proud, very excited. Check us out on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And with
Husker
that,
fans are they're just the best.
Husker fans are the best, absolute best fans. With that, let's talk Husker football.
Yes.
I think we come out the gates and talk Rhule. That's sort of the biggest news of the week. So Dayton Rhule, for those who miss it, I don't know how you could. Dayton Rhule decommitted 2 weeks before signing day. This is Dylan Raiola's little brother, obviously, who is a star quarterback in his own right. Has decommitted from Nebraska. Matt Rhule flew down to Buford 2 weeks ago. He decommitted a couple days ago. What are your raw thoughts on it? Is it something bigger? Is it nothing? Is it he's just looking to find his own path?
It is. Yeah, it's big. It is definitely big, but I don't think it is bigger than we realize, at least not yet. The deal is this, like, none of us know, first of all. Like, not even our most inside journalists, like, Callahan, Sipple, like all of these guys closely connected to the program, Robin Washington, whatever, they're all literally like, so the last we heard, Dayton was planning on being here for
the bowl
practices. That's in literally like 3 weeks. Like, that was the plan. And so this came pretty unexpectedly. So there's that, which, it's always interesting when it's just like a complete surprise. He's been our longest commit. He was the first commit in this class, and it's already a small class that also just lost an offensive line recruit. The only dots I'm connecting there is like, okay, number one, I think we all know that Dayton is not exactly in line to start. You've got potentially your brother, Lateef, Trey Taylor, and I mean, people forget about Marcos Davila.
Yeah.
4-star transfer from Purdue, who's also on the bench, redshirting this year, or did last year, whatever. He's got at least 3 more years too if he wants to stay. So the future is pretty good in that room with or without him. Number 2 is like there is a possibility that he kind of just wants to do his own thing and go his own way, and he's just like, I don't know, like why would I go there and ride the bench the whole time? Like maybe that's not for me. And maybe Matt Rhule had an honest conversation with him. Like those are, I know that's like, it's like, yeah, duh, those are the 2 schools of thought. It's like it has nothing to do with the brother at all. My fear is, okay, an offensive lineman decommits, and then so does Dylan Rhule, his younger brother. Dylan's hurt. TJ Lateef's getting buzzed. The fans are clamoring for Lateef. Donnie's probably on his way out. You lose your brother and you lose your uncle. Like, I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe
and I think that's. I mean,
maybe where there's
the rumor mill is going off the chains, which is like it makes me the off season is near is when like the rumor mill is like going nuts and we're checking on Instagram followers. I think it's interesting
the best and worst time of the year because nothing substantiated happens.
Nothing substantiated
between December and August. There's nothing substantiated until like there's ink on the line.
Yeah, and what Dayton is interesting. I thought he's been an interesting commit like the entire time. So his second best offer is Charlotte.
Yeah, Charlotte. And then he shut it down. So, like, to be fair, maybe people go after him now. Like, it'd be interesting to see now.
His third best offer is App State. So, like, yeah, he shut it down, but like, plenty of guys Rhule shut his down, and Georgia still went after him. USC went after him. Like, it's like if you're an elite recruit, nobody ever stops recruiting you. So I don't think he baseline is an elite recruit. The rule of going down there, I wish he'd just be like honest and be like, I went down there and told him, because he flew down there and he decommitted right after. So was that the honest conversation of like, we've got 4 guys in line. You're probably not going to play. This is definitely the best school you're going to get. You're going to get education. You'll be a good backup. Great. Yeah. So I think when I initially heard, I was like, I don't even understand why he's coming here anyways, besides the whole family dynamic thing. Of course. But I think there's the spiral that then occurs is, Dylan Rhule is now following all of the Oregon coaches and all the Oregon wide receivers and all the Oregon teammates. Everyone's like, well, he's gone too. So I think there's a spiral that naturally comes from this. That
doesn't even make sense. They're gone. Like Dante Moore is pretty locked in at Oregon.
He's a sophomore.
He's a sophomore. Like they could have him for 2 more years if they wanted to. They've got all the money in the world. That doesn't make sense. Dylan's not leaving unless he's guaranteed a starting spot. And he's guaranteed.
Yeah, he's got to be guaranteed a starting spot and a ton of money. I mean, we're paying him a fortune. So it's like.
We're already paying him a fortune. Yeah. I mean, and he's got, the Adidas deals and just like he's already basically a local hero around here. It's like, I don't know. If Dylan were to leave, like it's kind of a silly move on his part. I mean, unless like he's just like, okay, I've got, Lincoln Riley waiting for me, like quarterback guru, quarterback whisperer, and like they've promised me X money and an entire offensive line and like all of, something like that. But I just don't see it, I guess. Now here's I think what actually is going to transpire. I think that we're going to see Lateef come back down to human level a little bit.
Yeah.
Right now he's like pseudo god level at amongst the Husker faithful. He's been talked up. He's thrown like less than 10 incomplete passes on the year, so he's doing pretty good. If he just looks kind of average or just not really ready for the moment, how many people go crawling back to Dylan?
Yeah.
Like, we better pay Rhule like really fast.
Yeah, sorry about that. Well, and that's why I think the
worst thing that could happen for Dylan is if Lateef goes 2-0 in these last 2 games. Like that's the worst possible outcome for specifically for Dylan Rhule, not for Nebraska, but specifically for Dylan. Like for Dylan and anybody hoping to keep him, if we go 3-0 under Lateef against, like, forget it. Like, I mean, we might not even. I don't know. I
Yeah,
think he's a fantastic quarterback. We're lucky to
it'll
have
be
him, but
interesting.
I just the whole psyche changes if that happens.
Yeah, and we'll see. I mean, Lateef will be interesting. I think I'm optimistic because he was electric against UCLA and he looked great all season every time he's played. My concern is he looks awful against USC, and Penn State will be as a better defense than USC. And the fact that they were throwing him around like a rag doll when they got him, and like they clotheslining him, he fumbled a bunch like that is concerning. But now he's got 4 weeks of practice as a starter, and so you think that changes. All right, so that's the Rhule news. I want to make sure we talk Penn State. So, switching gears, Rhule into Penn State. Let's talk this year. So, Huskers are 7-3, 4-3 in the Big Ten. This is the fourth straight season. We've improved our regular season win total. So we are going up, but it'd be really nice to keep going up. We've actually won 4 of the last 5 against Penn State, which is awesome. Fun fact: I was at
about many teams, honestly.
Well, it's kind of insane to think this playoff level team we beat them 4 of the last 5 times, and they've won 10 games. They've won 10 games. Like what?
It might be one of our best records against anybody in 4 of the last 5.
Crazy. It's a whiteout game at Penn State, night game, 6:00. I have been to Penn State. I was at the 2011 Penn State game at Penn State. Do you remember what game that was?
Of course. That is HuskGuys legend, the post Joe Pa scandal.
4 days.
Sandusky, excuse me. They didn't know about
5 days, 4 to 5 days after the Sandusky scandal broke. Flights booked. We're already going. Like absolute mayhem breaks out. Definitely the weirdest environment I've ever experienced in my life. Like just like it was like a funeral. It was somber. Everybody was apologizing to us.
Yeah.
Like they're like, I'm so
pedophilia.
Yeah, they were just like, hey, we're so sorry about everything. It was like, you didn't molest me. You molested like all those kids. Like, it's like just an absolute dumpster fire at school. As they're like, yeah, they just have like, they have like Joe Pa statues everywhere. They're like, Joe Pa, we still love you. It's like, that's kind of weird for you guys to say that. So I've got a very weird feeling of like Penn State in general. I think their fans are weird. I think it's a weird cult. But we won. That was a Taylor Martinez
player there.
No, so weird. Whole thing was weird. Huskers won that game.
It's like the Epstein Island of college football.
Yeah, just absolutely obscene fans and weirdness. They've since recovered, but we still beat them 4 of the last 5. We beat them that game. And this has been – so Penn State, I've watched most of their games, oddly. Like they've had so many big games and so many bad games that I've watched almost all of them. It's been like almost like a must-see television that I haven't been able to take my eyes off of all season. So preseason, which was 88 days ago. I've looked all this up. 88 to 89 days ago, depending on when you're looking at. Was before the season started. They were preseason number 2.
If you get fired or you get like a 90-day notice or whatever.
They were preseason number 2. Many media outlets had predicted them to win the national championship, the entire championship, all of it. The Big Ten, run the table, win everything. This is the lineup. This is the level of stars that they have. That this is the team that is going to finally put them over the edge. They were a semifinal team last year. They've got their starting quarterback coming back, their starting running back coming back, most of their offense, most of their defense coming back. That was 88 days ago.
God.
As of 6 weeks ago, that this was like 58 days ago, they were the number 2 team in the country playing against Oregon. And in double overtime, they took over Oregon all the way down to the wire and lost in double overtime on just a bad pass that Drew Aller had. Jeez. And then the wheels absolutely came all the way off. I mean, that was literally 60 days ago. So 90 days ago, they were supposed to win the national championship. 60 days ago, they were an inch away from beating Oregon and climbing to be number 1 in the country. And then since that point,
they had the ball. They had the ball and threw a pick.
Oregon did not make their 2-point conversion, so all they had to do was score, and they would have won. Since that point, they went out to UCLA. UCLA destroyed them, put up 42 points.
And that was 0-4 UCLA at the time?
0-4, recently fired Deshaun Foster. Team. New Heisel calling plays for the first time in his life. His headset didn't work. He didn't even know how to call plays. He had no play sheet, and they put up 42 points against this Penn State team. They turn around and go to Northwestern.
They were 28, 25-point dogs in that game. I mean,
25-point dogs. They go there. They come back home. They lose to Northwestern at home in back-to-back games. James Franklin out of there. Fire him. 3 days. They go from, in a 20-day span, they went from playing as the number one team in the country to head coach, gone, 3-game losing streak, wheels completely off. They lose the next 6 straight games that they lost, followed by a win last week against Michigan State, and now the Huskers come to town. So all of this is to say, like, before the season, this was a loss in everybody's heads. Guaranteed loss. This is a national championship team. Yeah. There's no way we win this.
Oh, yeah.
Then flash forward to today, and somehow they're still 10-point favorites, even though they've lost 6 in a row, and it's just complete bedlam over at Penn State.
God.
What are we doing?
Like, James Franklin was the coach a month ago. I mean, just over.
James Franklin is now the head coach of Virginia Tech.
Like, I looked back at some of my preseason bets that I made. Some were great. Picked Clemson to win the ACC and picked Penn State to win the national title. And I am dumb. And I know nothing.
Yeah.
And that's okay. At least I can admit it. But this, I mean, I think this is a great point by the Husker Army podcast here dropping in. FSU a year ago went through this. Like, they were coming off of 13-0 season. They that was when they got like snubbed from the playoff, and everyone was just like, oh, they're going to do it again. They reloaded. Look at their transfer portal haul. And they just stunk.
Yeah.
I mean, and you just can't see it coming. To me, like, Penn State this year, this is the ultimate like expression in physical form of how important college football locker rooms and momentum can be. Like, just the complete, like, if you lose one game, like, look at Notre Dame, right? They lose 2 games and everyone's like, oh, they're out, they're done, the playoff, blah, blah. It literally, like, didn't even matter. They're somehow like 7th in the country now. They're back in the playoff. They're fine. Penn State loses 1 game, and the wheels just, I mean, like, what happened?
Completely.
I just think
that, like,
they it'll just regroup and go and beat the doors off of UCLA like they should have. It's unbelievable.
He clearly lost something in that team. Like, Oregon lost, really, like, rejiggered something, and, like,
just lost the locker room. You don't
lost the locker room. You lose something.
No coach. You don't lose to Northwestern, like, as that talented of a Penn State team, and you just
regardless. I just thought, like, what I don't know what's going to happen in Penn State. Well, hopefully they stink on Saturday, but I just don't think they're going to find somebody that's going to be able to deliver as many 10+ win seasons as he has over the last. He's got 5 10+ win seasons over the last.
Were a school record.
I mean, it's just,
they had never won 13 games in a season.
They were a play away from the playoff. So all of it, I think, is crazy. I think I just think that there's, like, crazy whiplash of them just, like, completely falling apart. That, but then I guess even as it's flash forward to, like, this game, that where I'm hoping this is set up extremely well for us, and this is, I think we can jump into, like, why I'm optimistic about it, but, like, conceptually, like, we're now 10-point dogs, which is I get, because they have significantly more talent.
Staggering line to see.
I think, like, they put it to Michigan State, and so everyone's kind of like, and they played Oregon tight. They should have beat Indiana, except for that heroic, throw by Mendoza at the end. They're playing good football, and they are a very good football team. But I think for them to say they're 10-point favorites, I guess what I'm hoping happens, and I've been tweeting this a bunch this week, James Franklin is now the head coach of Virginia Tech, and he is recruiting and poaching every single player and coach at Penn State to come to Virginia Tech.
Yeah, why would you not? I mean, it's your job to make Virginia Tech good now.
He is. I mean, it's come out. He's already gone after the general manager, the interim head coach. They just asked him today. He's like, yeah, it's, I'll go where I'm wanted, and if I'd love to stay here, but is that a possibility to go to Penn State? Absolutely. So interim head coach has been contacted. General manager. They said he's going after their quarterback right now. Drew Aller's probably in there. He's probably got to go to the NFL, but almost every player you got to imagine is being contacted by James Franklin right now.
Sure.
All the coaches are.
I mean, for people that think that's not happening, forget it. Come on.
They have this weekend 6 of the biggest recruits that Penn State have, fully committed recruits to Penn State, are at Virginia Tech. So wow. I guess I'm hoping that it's I'm hoping it's complete pandemonium in Penn State.
Dirty.
Yeah. He's got all of the recruits that he recruited. They had 17 decommits. They are all visiting Penn State over the next 2 to 3 weeks. They don't have a head coach. Every single player at Penn State is like a lame duck. They're all going to leave. So that's where I give credit to Penn State in the sense that, I mean, they just beat Michigan State. They haven't given up on their season. Sure. They almost beat Indiana. I give credit to them for fighting. I just hope that Rhule and Holgerson and these guys who there is zero turmoil in Lincoln. You have to be able to outcoach a team that has complete panic. Yes. The entire stadium is on fire.
I would be reaching out to James Franklin so fast and just giving him a call from a friend if I met Rhule and just say, hey, congratulations. Do you have any tips for beating your former team?
Well, yeah, that's the other.
Listen, if you really want the best for your university, I'm a former alum, and I would love to beat my old university. I don't know. I just that is absolutely true. The whole, I don't know how much validity there is to when the whole Penn State news and everything all broke and is Rhule leaving? Is he heading out of here and stuff? We got our doors blown off by Minnesota, for God's sake, and they're not a good team, and that was a huge alarming game. But that was a game where I wonder God, there was just some extra going on this week. There was some extra, just I don't know, just random little distractions, just is our head coach leaving? Do I need to think about this? Do I need to start fielding phone calls from these other coaches that are trying to poach us nonstop? I don't know. Maybe there is a little validity to that. In the end, it's going to come down to, I just think this is going to end up being a good old Big Ten, just spit fest rock fight. We've got 2 backup quarterbacks playing. I mean, before the season, this was 5-star Drew Aller, preseason All-American versus additional, potential first-round draft pick, Dylan Raiola. And now it is whoever their coach is and Ethan Grunkemeyer, who has 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions or something.
The Drunkmeyer.
Versus TJ Lateef. And wow, what a turn of events. So, but I got to say, the running game battle is going to be, it is 100%. I am fully convinced that is all this game is going to come down to, is who runs the ball better.
The game is going to be
how the Big Ten's meant to be. It's how the Big Ten is meant to be.
The game is going to be 84 minutes long. Total.
It's literally going to be
real time running. It is going to be.
It's going to start at 1 a.m. Madrid time, and it should be over by 2. So I should be fine.
Yeah, besides commercials, it'll be 45 minutes long. 3 reasons I'm optimistic about the game. I mean, 1A is the fact that they're in turmoil. I like the chaos. Yes. But on the field, Emmett Johnson being the monster he is. So Emmett's leading rusher in the Big Ten, 1,131 yards. Second nationally in missed tackles, 56 forced missed tackles.
That's crazy.
He is best against the best. He's carrying the offense. He's got 37% of our total yards. And then Penn State's deep run defense is vulnerable. They are 76th in the nation. in expected points allowed per attempt against the run. So they've allowed 3 players to rush over 100 yards. 2 of them were mobile quarterbacks, of which we have a mobile quarterback. Gronowski ran for over 100, and then somebody else ran over for over 100. I'm going to have to look that up. But they're vulnerable. What do you think? Emmett Johnson, 40 carries?
You got it. Just feed the man. You have to. No, I think Lateef's legs get involved too. They're a little bit vulnerable against mobile quarterbacks and stuff as well. But yeah, it's surprising because Penn State's defensive line was a big strength going into the season. And then their defensive backs, big strength going into the season. So, that would pose that it wouldn't be really a great idea to be passing for TJ Lateef to come out in a primetime game in Happy Valley and just be pass happy. Like, that just doesn't really make sense to me. The other thing that we've seen over the last couple of weeks, Emmett Johnson's 3 biggest weeks of the entire season have been the last 3 weeks.
Yeah,
and
he's getting better.
One of his worst of the season was the week before the last 3 weeks, which was Minnesota. In Minnesota, less than 15 carries, and they were fine carries. He was doing fine. I don't know why we chose to just go away from it other than the script of the game. But I think they've just kind of found, like, our offensive line is so much better at run blocking than pass blocking that, like, we don't really have a choice but to run the ball and run the ball some more. And thank goodness we have found that we have a Heisman caliber running back in our backfield that was waiting for this call all along. So I like that does seem to favor us just a little bit. The big advantage, I guess, that I would see, their quarterback and wide receivers are a huge drop off from their starters. So, like, overall, if I'm comparing our units, I think our running game holds about par with Penn State's. They've got Katron Allen and Nick Singleton, 2 1,000-yard rushers last year, by the way, 2 future NFL running backs in addition to Emmett Johnson, by the way. And they have been running the crap out of the ball. They ran it 50 times against Michigan State.
Not great.
And that's what they decided to do following James Franklin's departure. They were just like, just keep running. I don't know. Just like, and guess what? When you've got those dudes, it works. So the running games, I don't know. I mean, maybe neutralized, but our run defense, very bad. I think overall that gives them a slight advantage there. But our passing game versus theirs is, I think we've got the advantage there. This Grunkemeyer fella, not great.
Not good.
Not great.
He's not good.
Not accurate. Turnover.
Katron Allen, very good.
Katron Allen is a monster, and forget it. We're not stopping him. Just don't plan on it. I don't want anyone to get, like, some crazy ideas like I have had, which is, hey, maybe we'll just 10 games into the season, maybe now we stop the run.
I think
we are who we are. It's just not
our secondary has the chance to hold him to 11 yards passing. We are still third nationally. That's going
to keep you in the game, though. Like, that is my hope. We're third in the country in pass defense. Yes,
third in pass defense. We've only allowed 134 yards per air, yards through the air per game. We've only allowed 5 touchdown passes. Shut down USC's passing attack. Mekhi Lemon basically had his worst game of the year against us. Sierra Wright is basically going to have the best season in Nebraska history without ever making a big play. Nobody ever threw his way the entire season. We're 10 games in.
He's just out there.
Yeah, and nobody throws at him. And Penn State's offense is 112th in passing offense. So it's like, I guess if you're able to make them truly one-dimensional, and just throw, can you put 10 in the box, 9 in the box type thing of just load it up and just try to stop the run, knowing that they can't throw deep? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's going to be an interesting adjustment to see. And it's probably going to carry over to the Iowa game, is how do we beef up against these 2 offensive lines who are going to be, there's probably the 2 best Penn State and Iowa are two teams that are literally built to be our Achilles heel. Like they just are. They'll play solid defense.
I mean, it's Minnesota.
They don't need to pass. They probably won't unless they
Yeah.
absolutely have to. And that sucks for us. So,
Yeah. I mean, if they watch the Minnesota film,
we're going to have to basically take a linebacker off, which is normally McCullough. Like we'll take McCullough off and bring on an additional D lineman and try and get a little bit bigger up front, and just so we can stuff them at the point of attack. I don't know, like that's the single biggest concern for the game should be that. Like, I'm not nearly as worried about Lateef getting some yards through the air and getting and running a somewhat productive offense. I'm more worried that they will just grind us to a pulp. And this is like a huge black shirts wake up call challenge here in front of us. If we can bow up and stop the run, we'll win this game. And
so here's the 3 points of optimism are Emmett Johnson could carry us. I think they're susceptible there. I think our pass defense has got a very strong chance of shutting them down entirely. And then TJ Lateef's mobility is Nico is the other quarterback. Nico ran for 100 plus. Gronowski ran for 100 plus. They really struggled against Northwestern's quarterback. They struggled against.
They could not stop UCLA, and that was when they had James Franklin. They did stop Indiana, there, and no one stops Indiana. So that was
they did and they didn't. Like, I mean, Indiana was up 17. They're up 17. Yeah, they're up 17-7, and they're up 20. You know, and they drove down the field at the end of the game. Like there's weaknesses. Like, I just feel like it's weird. It's weird that this team that lost 6 games in a row is now being built up to be like, it's like we're playing a top 10 team. We're not.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a top 10 team. This is a team that's been shredded. They're full of injuries, and like all of their players are going to transfer at the end of the season. So I think there's an element of like, yeah, we should be concerned, but also like we're not playing a team that's playing for the playoff. We're playing for a team that if they're losing at halftime, they're going to quit because they have nothing to play for. Like, what are they even doing? And I just don't think. I think they got excited for the Indiana game. I have a hard time believing they're going to be like, oh man, Nebraska, like this is going to be an awesome chance to be a 7-3 team. But so three reasons for optimism. I think they're in chaos. Emmett Johnson's got a really good shot. I think their pass defense can shut him down. I think TJ Lateef is a mobile quarterback. Very strong opportunity to run against them. Concerns, obviously, like as you said, run defense is going to be very hard. That's not ideal. I think the other one we haven't talked about is Penn State's pass rush is probably my biggest concern. So Penn State's got a top 5 roster in the country. They have this guy, Dennis Sutton.
Yeah. Dennis Sutton. Yeah.
Dennis Sutton. 8 tackles for loss, 5 sacks. Program record. He's blocked 3 punts, which is crazy. So I don't love, because I think if they have watched any of the film on our offensive line and they figure out that, like, you know, he blitz on the outside, go right after our edges, like, I just think he's a guy that can like rip Lateef in half. So I would say wildly concerned about the pass rush and having that like USC type performance for Lateef of like, does he have that USC, you know, it's like, you know, when he looked like he was completely lost against USC, does he have that here if you they Sutton coming off the edge? And then I think the other big one is like just the overall environment, which I think a lot of people are talking about. A night game, I'm hoping that they don't bring it like they normally do. It doesn't have the energy of a top 10 environment, but it is a night environment, whiteout at Penn State, 6:00 game. And you look at our schedule, we have not played a real away game all season. Like Kansas City was a home game. UCLA was a home game. You know, we had more. There was more red. So the only ruckus environment we played in was Minnesota, and we got absolutely bull rushed. It's a little concerning.
Yeah, I saw it with my own eyes. It's just an absolute murder.
But I don't know. I just think the optimism lies around the fact that this team is playing for nothing. They've lost 6 straight games. Like they've lost their coach. They're all getting poached. I'm hoping Franklin's in all of their ears that they're about to go play for Virginia Tech next season. That to
Yeah,
me is like that overall mentality. The program has to be like the thing that we latch onto.
true.
But because if you focus on like the fact that they're talented and they just beat Michigan State pretty good, like, yeah, we're in trouble.
They are. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, overall, their offense too, like they're almost they're kind of similar to us in a way, like just struggling to just convert yards into points. They put up, let's see, 28, 24, 14, 24, 21. I mean, they haven't scored over 30 points since the UCLA game, which they also lost. They lost to Oregon. They put up 24. The only times they've put up 30 or more points were UCLA, Villanova, FIU, and Nevada. So 4 times. But I mean, it's not like a high octane, hugely powered offense. They have 12 touchdowns, 7 interceptions total on the year. So I don't know. I guess I feel a little bit more optimistic seeing that. It's just that they did have a little bit more rushing success. They found a little bit more of an unbalanced offense. They kind of realized against Michigan State, like, yeah, against these smaller dudes, we can just plow our way forward. This is fine.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I guess I'm hopeful that we've been winning close games. That's
yes.
where I'm shocked that it's like this 10-point line. That's what's kind of probably throwing me off the most about it. Is if the line was like 2 or 3 or 7, and if it's within a close game, Nebraska's been doing a great job winning these close games this season. We haven't said that in 10 years. And I just feel like you get into these close games, for them especially, they lost a heartbreaker to Northwestern. They lost a heartbreaker to Iowa. They lost an absolute devastation to Indiana. They lost a
Oof.
devastation to Oregon. And they were also within 5 to UCLA. Like, they've lost – all their losses are just like these absolute, like, mind-bending, like, I cannot believe. Like, the Indiana one was like the
Oh,
greatest catch of all time.
and they still have a chance to make a bowl game, which is the craziest thing. They got to beat us and Rutgers, and they're in a bowl.
Yeah.
They're like, they do have something to play for, I guess. There,
But
I
not,
think some of these
I
players
just
are
think
just
if
like,
you're
it doesn't sound as good as a national championship.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
I just think for guys who are champions like these guys are, and especially these guys who all played on in the playoff last year, like, for you to be like, hey, here's the Gasparilla Bowl, like, I just don't like. I don't think they care about it. At least I don't know. I've been impressed that they've continued to play. Like,
they're
we've
all
seen
planning on
Nebraska come
transferring
out.
to Virginia Tech anyways. So,
Yeah, they're just like, whatever, I'm leaving. Like, I gotta, I'm just gonna work on my new NIL package over at Virginia Tech. James Franklin's gonna bring me over. He's bringing over the entire staff. Like, I don't know. That's my like biggest piece, but I think if they do just run it 50 times, we're in trouble. And I don't think we can stop it.
yeah, there's a website, cfbgraphs.com, that I'm looking at, and I I love it. Let me get it so I can share it. But for those that really like to, I don't know, nerd out a little bit, it's a nice website, so I recommend it. But so these on the left-hand side, if you're watching us live here, are Nebraska's success rates, blue being better. The top 20% get these dark blue numbers here. So Nebraska's offense, mainly top 40, top 50 in pretty much everything. Penn State's defense, so their quality drive rate, that's a huge metric that they use, 58th in the country. Points per quality drive, 74th in the country, Penn State's defense. Their field position, 80th versus Nebraska's offense field position is 6th. So a big shout out to our special teams for putting us in those good positions in the first place. And then what I have been harping on pretty much all season, the 3rd and 4th down success rate, their defense 79th, Nebraska's offense 30th. So some pretty when you get into the nitty gritty, like some of these things are suggesting that Nebraska's offense could actually find a little bit more success than we realize, I think, here. Like we've been, saying all year, this is a good enough sample size to say we are kind of who we are at this point. But that Lateef extra juice is something that is not factored into any of these numbers here. is the Lateef legs. We haven't had that all year, and we've been putting up good numbers. He just needs to control the ball, not turn it over, not become, Mr. Grade School football or anything. And, like against USC, the balls were getting snapped off his hands, and just like, oh my God, settle down, brother.
He was tripping Emmett Johnson.
I actually like our chances on offense to move the ball a little bit. It's just going to come down to that run defense. That's kind of where I'm at.
All right, step back from all of this. We got 2 games left in a bowl game.
Yes.
We are 7-3. What does a successful season look like?
We have the nation's longest, how do I phrase this, losing streak against the spread for total wins. So for the last 6 seasons, we've gone under on our projected win total.
What is it right now?
Guess what the win total is this year? 7.5.
Oh my God. Oh, for God.
I, of course, have lost a lot of money over the years betting the over every time. So, a successful season, I think, at least in the eyes of bettors and myself, you gotta hit that over. So, 1-1 in these last 2 is the bare minimum, and then I think a bowl win.
That's 9.
9's a good number. It's 9-4.
No, it's 9 is something we haven't seen since Bo Pelini.
Right, but like 8 regular season, I'll take that. And these are 2.
Well, but I think that's the question. Is so.
It's not all lost. I'm not like, but I think you gotta get to 8 with this schedule. You just like. It will absolutely be a disappointment for me if we lose out. It will be not even just
7-6.
That would be 7-6, and that's
in your eyes. 7-6 is a total disappointment.
Total.
That means it's a 1-3 November. Again, Rhule is 0-8 in November. Yes. That would make him like
even with Lateef and a completely handicapped children trying to block for him. We need to go at least 1-1 in these last 2. And kind of depends on the bowl matchup, I guess. But an 8-4 regular season, I think is kind of the bare minimum for me to say this is a successful regular season.
Okay.
And then it kind of depends on the bowl matchup.
What about loses Penn State, loses Iowa, wins a bowl? That's an 8-5 season.
Oh, that's going to be a painful 8-5, but
yeah.
But
so you need one. You need a Penn State or Iowa. You need a Penn State or Iowa win for you to feel good about this season.
If I'm going to choose, it's Iowa. This is a very winnable Penn State game. Like it really is. And in fact, I would be impressed if we win because clearly the spread is 2 possessions for Penn State right now.
Yeah.
Those numbers are the numbers for a reason.
So 8 wins gets you progress.
Where do you lie on those statements?
I think it's. I keep coming back to like my expectations of the season and then how it's evolved. And no matter what, I'm disappointed because I sit up in the and I build myself that way, which is fine.
There's still a chance you might not be disappointed. You got to set yourself up for.
Well, but I guess here's my train of thought is. My projection at the beginning of the season was 10 wins, which, as I've said on my name here, 10 wins is still possible. I thought we would lose to Michigan, and I thought we'd lose to Penn State.
So
those
9,
are my 2 losses.
9 is. Are you happy with 9?
Well, and so that's where I'm coming around to is like I think when you look at where we're at right now, like I thought we'd lose to Michigan, and I thought we'd lose to Penn State. So instead, we lost to USC, who I thought was like, okay, they're playing really well. They're knocking on the door. They beat Oregon this weekend. They're in the playoff.
Sure.
Losing to a playoff team, okay. Losing to Michigan, okay. Minnesota will be the unacceptable loss. We won all the other ones. We won all the other ones, and that's where I'm kind of like, okay, I probably am closer to you of like a 1-1 in these final two gets me to believe that there is progress in the program.
Okay.
Because then, you're talking about a Scott Frost 5-7 program turning into an 8-4. Unbelievable. I will take that all day because you're at least trending upward. And a Penn State win or an Iowa win, you're definitely trending upwards. You go play the bowl game, and that gets you 9 would be unbelievable. 8, I think I'd be pleased with. And I think if you beat, I guess what always kind of kills me, and I'm trying to like maintain expectations, is if you beat Penn State and you beat Iowa, you are talking playoff all off season. It is going to be Nebraska's back, the year 3 Rhule bump, like all of it.
I think even if you win your bowl game, you're still saying that.
But I think you need one of these, at least one of these.
Oh, yeah,
you need one of these in a bowl game. 9.
2-1. Yeah.
You need to get to 9. If you get to 9, you are talking like the entire offseason is going to be the best offseason we've had in the last 20 years.
Just rocket ship. Yeah.
Unbelievable, especially if like Rhule like stops screwing around and comes back, and like you've got Lateef back and everybody. Like the offseason will be unbelievably amazing. And I think on the flip side, that 1-2 finish, however it shakes out, like I honestly, I think you can write away the bowl. Like a win will celebrate like crazy. A bowl, like a loss, will just like throw it away. If you go play like a Tennessee or something, it's like, oh yeah, duh. Like they're the third best team in the SEC, and like we just happen to run into them, fine. But I think like, gosh, I think that's it's November 20th, and you still have the opportunity to make this like the full Rhule bump with a full off season of like absolute unbelievable hype, and you can win 10 games. 10 games.
The other thing I just thought of too is like one of the big things that we've been critiquing this year is like our preparation and our coordinator preparation and stuff. Like these are the games, Penn State and Iowa, where it's like if you prepare right, you're gonna probably win. And this is a great test. Like Kotelnicki at Penn State, he's a solid offensive coordinator, and then you've got Jim Knowles. Like we forget Jim Knowles is coming off a national title, literally the best coordinator in the country.
Yeah, he's making like $3 million.
That defense has just not been up to par. I can't explain it, but the last 2 weeks they seem to have like been figuring something out. They held Michigan State to 101 yards rushing and Indiana 108 yards rushing. That was their lowest yards given up since their Northwestern game, and then Oregon went for under. But Iowa went for like 245 on them. It's crazy. UCLA ran for 269 yards on them. It's crazy. Yep. Oregon went for 176 on them. Ohio State went for 164. We can do it. We can do this. The game plan is there. And now you've got 10 games of like game data to just like run off of this and build on it. Like these are the games where if you're going up against these coordinators, it's Dana Holgerson's time to work his magic. It's John Butler's time to say, I know they're going to run the ball. I've got the exact formula to stop these guys. And then it'll take care of itself. And then like, good Lord, if we went 2-0 in these last two, 9-3, come on. I don't want to
smashing success.
Too much, but it's come on. Like you're saying, holy cow, we're missing our 5-star quarterback. We're down 2 starting offensive linemen. Like you're pretty happy.
That's where I think there's 2-0 is a smashing success. Sign Rhule to a lifetime contract,
which we already did.
But beating Iowa gets you. When we beat them 2 years ago, it was like the best offseason ever. It just was fantastic. So I think beating Iowa still gets you to, hey, we're 8-4. We beat Iowa, and we lost the 4 games. We lost to 3 teams that were, have more talent than us, which was Penn State, USC, and Michigan, and then a stupid loss against Minnesota. So it was 1 bad game. that's still like a giant progress. And then you focus the entire offseason of like, okay, how do we level up in the transfer portal to beat the top tier teams? I would take that all day. I think the biggest fear everybody has is like, if you lose those next two and then you're 1-3 to finish the year again, we went 1-3 to finish last year and we went 0-4 the year before. It's like, all right, Rhule is just like a September guy. I think that's where like the concern is probably like would punt up, but I just think it's November 20th and you still have everything on the table except for the playoff.
So here's there's interesting tiers that are presented on this other website I like called teamrankings.com. Shout out to them. They do some great work, but they have a record forecast. And this is pretty much exactly what you just said, but less encouraging. They have a projected record forecast. The 90th percentile, which they describe as a miracle scenario, would be 9-3. We got some good luck scenario is 70th percentile chance, 8-4. I like that. 70th percentile, a little bit of good luck. They also have us as the most likely, so just between 50 and 70% as 8-4. Meltdown, 10th percentile is 7-5. So you don't want to end up in meltdown.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is it's like it's a meltdown because then it's like, wow, you just lost to a 4-6 Penn State team and then an 8-4, or a 7-4 Iowa team. It's like these are teams that are beatable. And then I just would love to get to the point that I'd love to head into the offseason with it. I be like, hey, we beat a good Cincinnati team. We did what we needed to do to beat UCLA and to beat Maryland and to beat we beat all Michigan State. Like we beat the teams we're supposed to beat, and we haven't done that in a long time. And I just think that builds a ton of offseason momentum for Rhule and the recruiting and transfer portal. It's like you can very clearly see it's like very evident that like things are building and things are going up.
Yeah, and like the other thing with losing 2 recruits this week, our 2016 or Jesus, good Lord, where's the brain here? 2016, wow, stuck in the past. 2026 recruiting class is currently outside of the top 100, which is, that's pretty much an unacceptable finish. Like, you can't do that. That's down there with Charlotte, which is where Dayton Raiola is about to commit. And that's who we're competing with, I guess. But, like, a 1-1 finish, hey, you can feel it, you can see it, like that's all pre-bowl game. Then your signing day comes up. Like this is all part of the run into the off season and stuff here. 0-2 is then going 7-5 just becomes an exceptionally harder sell. Like there's only so many years you can keep just beating that drum and just being like, well, I just got to get my guys here. I just got to get oh my God, like you've got to win and preferably beat the piss out of Iowa. But yeah, I mean, this is so big, like in the whole run up into like securing a better bowl game, securing some recruits, building that momentum. Like you've got 3 games left. And we were just talking before the season or before this pod, like, God, there's only 12 Saturdays a year. I just want these last 2 to be enjoyable.
They won't be.
Like
the games aren't fun to watch because they're just like wildly stressful and frustrating. But like if they win, I'm up until 3 a.m, like watching highlights. But like in the moment, I'm like stressed the entire time. But we'll see. Boys are looking good. I think. I don't know. I've got this as a long season, but
yeah, it's true. But now it's like it's there for the taking. All right, last few minutes. Here's some over-unders. Ready? Rapid fire. Katron Allen, 101.5 rush yards.
Over. By a lot. He'll have 198.
200. Emmett Johnson, 99.5 rush yards.
Over.
Wow. 200-yard rushers.
He's got 40 carries. So he just needs 3 per carry.
Ethan Grunkemeyer, 174.5 pass yards.
Under. He'll have 47.
Love that.
They'll have 47 passing yards, and Katron Allen has 230 rushing yards.
175.5 pass yards for Lateef. Or wait,
Has he
sorry.
done?
175.5 total yards for Lateef.
Yeah, that makes more sense. I was going to say, I don't think he's done. He hasn't thrown for 175 all season.
Well, yeah.
I think that's an over. I think if he gets 60 on the ground, 110 through the air.
60. I think he needs to be in the like 30 to 40 rush yards range if we're gonna have a hope.
Yeah, I mean maybe 60 is aggressive. I guess I'm just thinking like if Nico had like 120 and Gronowski had 120 and like most rushing quarterbacks have had like I don't know, can he get half of that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm over that one.
I like that. Dane Key, 25.5 receiving yards.
God, I have no freaking idea. I mean, he's either 0 or 80. It's like it's such a binary thing. I think over. I feel like him and Lateef have a nice little thing. So I'll say over. But I mean, he needs one catch, I guess.
Targeted him 4 times. He had 3 receptions on 4 targets last game, 46 yards. In his last 5 games, Dane Key has only gone over 25 receiving yards 2 times. Not the ideal.
You're not going to the NFL with
that. Acquisition. Isaiah Hunter, 35.5 receiving yards.
Yeah, probably same level of question. Like he just needs one catch to go over that. I'd like for him to go over, but I also Lateef threw 15 times last week against UCLA. He's probably going to throw 15 times again. And this game's going to be super short.
No, though. I mean, like Penn State's defense is so much better than UCLA's. They're not great, but like you just have to be average to be so much better than UCLA.
Yeah, UCLA is very bad. I don't know. That's a weird one. I think it'd be great if he did, but I can see him throwing like 12 passes, completing 6, and I don't know.
No, I just think they're going to force us to throw. Is all I mean by that. Like I think he's going to throw.
That'd be great.
I think he's probably going to be in the 20-25 throws in the game. All right, last two here. So one of their top receivers, Kyron Hudson, 20.5 receiving yards.
What's he?
Former USC receiver, 5-star transfer. Wanted to join their national title squad.
20 seems pretty low.
Fun fact, he has not hit it in the last 5 games.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
he had one target for 0 yards against Michigan State.
I like our pass D. I feel good about them. I say under.
Yeah. Devontae Ross, one of their other top options, is his over/under is also 20.5. You think either of them goes off or no?
No. If we shut down Lemon, like I don't think going off any of them are gonna.
Their third and their highest over/under of receiving yards is 36.5 for Trevor Pena. Trevor Pena. He's coming off of performances, 38 yards. He had 99 against Indiana. He had 11 against Ohio State, 19 against Iowa, 5 against Northwestern. So who the heck knows? Will our pass defense hold Trevor Pena to under 36.5 receiving yards?
Yeah, I think he's going to have – I think their quarterback is going to have it. He's going to have a total like 40 yards passing the entire game. Unless they break one, which they've done a couple times, I just think he's going to have like –
yeah.
I don't see it. But I think Kaytron Allen is going to have 275 rushing yards.
I love it.
I don't love that.
Final score position?
God, I don't even know. I mean, I feel like I'm consistently saying we're like going to lose, but I also like I'm talking myself into us winning. I think if it's close, I really like us. Like if it's close, Nebraska wins 24-22.
Interesting.
I think the concern is like they just wear us down and it's like a 2-story game and we can't come back and it's like 28-12, 28-10.
Like just Lateef come out.
I'll stick to my optimism is Huskers win 24-22. I think if it's close, we win, which is crazy to say because we've lost every close game for the last 10 years. But I think if it's close, they fold and they fall apart because they just like don't even want to be there. But I think if the concern is on the flip side, We either win 24-22 or we lose 35-10.
Yeah.
It's like a binary.
Yeah. Here's my little, I guess my last 10 cents is I think if Lateef comes out and wins us a close game, I mean, the hype train will be, forget it. It's the hype train becomes a rocket ship really quickly, and the hype rocket ship is orbiting
the hype
the
rocket ship
universe.
was amazing. In Rhule's defense, his number one best attribute so far this season has been his fourth quarter clutch drives.
Yeah.
So
it's just
I'll give Rhule
team.
that, but if Lateef also has that
but Rhule has never beat a good team, other than Cincinnati, who knows?
Who's not really. Yeah, the hype train will be through the roof. I mean, a win in general. I mean, the fact that we were celebrating the UCLA win, like we just beat the Packers. Like you beat Penn State. Like it doesn't matter. We're going to be.
You beat
thrilled.
6-loss Penn State.
6-loss Penn State, who Northwestern beat and UCLA beat, and Michigan State was down 3 going into the fourth quarter, and Iowa beat. And this is a beleaguered Penn State team.
Yes,
but it doesn't matter. I don't care. I'll celebrate all the wins. We celebrated Maryland. We celebrated Michigan State. We celebrated Cincinnati. We celebrated Akron.
I'm with you. I don't think Penn State blows us out. I think that if anything, this has very much the feels of Michigan 2.0. I absolutely think we can beat them, but I'm putting it kind of closer to like a 20% chance, to be honest.
Okay. It's a chance.
It's just one of those games that like this, literally the recipe to beat us is to have a nice pass rushing defensive line. It's like hold our offense enough and then just run the crap out of the ball. And that's what they're going to do. So we'll see if things have changed from the Michigan game until now. It will be very depressing if we do lose this game, but
we're not going to, folks.
Penn State 24-20 is what I am thinking, but you heard me predict that 20% chance. So, I'm not like, don't you dare clip that audio and say you said we were going to lose. I said we had a 20% chance, but that we're probably going to lose.
Shout out to the 1,081 folks who joined us tonight. We appreciate you. To shout out to the 150,000 Huskers fans who follow us across Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. We appreciate you, Husker Nation. Check out HuskGuysStore.com. We got some gift boxes dropping soon. We got shirts, hats, gear, all sorts of good stuff. We appreciate you guys listening. Go Huskers. Let's finish with 3 more wins. Let's get to 10. Have a great night. Thanks for joining us, and go Big Red.
Sounds so good. Go Big Red.